Hi, I'm Chas, and you're watching Chas's Crazy Creations.
We use pavers in our yard, and I'm going to show you a fun little project you can do with these inexpensive items. For this project, I'm going to be using apple barrel paint in a variety of colors. And apple barrel paint is an acrylic paint, and I made sure to check the back, and it says it's safe for porous materials. I love that it's water-based and it cleans up nice and easy. What I have here is a concrete paver, and you can find these at your local hardware store. You can also find them at Walmart, and they're pretty inexpensive. Next, I'm going to take my paint, I'm going to shake it up. And again, looking at the back, this one does say it's good for porous materials. And you're going to want to be careful when you work with concrete because not all paint works on concrete. I learned this the hard way when I did a project for my kids and I tried to use white paint and it just didn't take at all. So you want to pick a color that will go on concrete easily. So I've just poured some on here. I find that this technique works pretty slick for getting in the creases, and it just helps you paint it up nicely. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this paint back and forth here as I go. And again, you want to make sure that it's safe for concrete. If you're going to be using something outside, you want to make sure that your paint is good for the outdoors. So take all of that into consideration, and usually every paint tells you on the back what it's good for. And you can always go ask for help at any store that you go to, especially the craft stores. They know the products, but you'll definitely find that you want to be careful with concrete because it does soak in and you need that color to stay on top. You don't want to do all the work and then have it go away. So I'll go ahead and continue painting this, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So now that I've got it all painted, I'm going to let it dry completely, and you can paint the sides or not. You can use stencil tape or painter's tape to cut a clean line if you don't want to paint the sides, or go ahead and paint it all around. It's really up to you and where you're going to be putting this. One of the other things I really love about this project is that kids could get in on the painting too. Now, I have 9 other pavers that I'm going to go ahead and paint. So I'll get started on that, and I'll show you what they all look like when I'm done. Now, I took these old pavers and left them outside and painted them. Now, as you can see here, they are very colorful, and kids could easily get on the fun while doing this project. These pavers were a walkway to my kids' secret hideout back in the day. Now I'm going to be turning them into something else. I moved them over to my yard, and now I just need to let them dry in the sun. Now they're dry and I'm ready to move on. Now a couple of them turned out a little streaky, so I may go back and repaint those later. Now you could use paint for this next part if you want to, but I'm opting for sidewalk chalk, and I'll tell you why. Using sidewalk chalk makes it temporary and erasable. So for example, I can start by making numbers on these pavers, but I could also wipe that off with a damp rag and then go ahead and use letters or maybe some numbers for addition, subtraction, spelling words. You can use it to do lots of possibilities. Here are the numbers on the hopscotch. And again, you could easily use letters of the alphabet. You could use addition, subtraction, multiplication. You could use spelling words. The possibilities are really endless with this concept.
Let me know what you think in the comment section below. To start this project, you're going to need some clear glass bottles. So you want to remove the labels off of all your bottles, and most of the time it's really easy. You just soak them in some soapy water for about 10 minutes and the label peels right off. Now these bottles tended to be stickers, so I just had to peel them off the bottle. Next, I'll be using apple barrel paint in a variety of colors, and this is an acrylic paint that is water-based, and it's great for easy cleanup. So I've protected my surface here with a little tray. I've got my clean bottle. I've washed them all out. And I'm going to be using my apple barrel fuchsia paint, which is acrylic paint. I've shaken it up good so it's ready to go. So I'm going to remove the lid, and then I'm going to carefully pour
the paint into the bottle. Now I want to put a good amount here, and it's okay to use more than you need because you're going to be putting the excess back in the paint jar. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down now over here. And as you can see, the paint is in here. And so all I need to do now is swirl the paint around in the jar. And if I need to add more, I can. I want to make sure it's good and coated. And I'm going to continue doing this all the way around. And if I need to, again, I add more paint. And then once I get to the top, I'll be dumping the excess back in here. So it looks like I might need a little more paint. So let me go ahead and pour some more in there. And then I will go ahead and continue spinning so that we can get it nice and coated. And then, like I said, once we get it coated, we bring it to the top and we dump the excess inside the jar. And you can either just let it drip out by holding it, or you can actually just set it into, if you want to set it inside there so it drains out and then wipe it on the outside clean, you can do that. But ultimately, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the coated bottle and we're going to let it dry completely. So I'll go ahead and do some more bottles and I'll show you what that looks like. Now, some of you might be asking about, what about dark bottles and can I paint the outside? So here's a dark bottle and I'm just going to show you here that I can paint it, but it's going to not be as vivid and you're going to need a few coats. You can also use chalk paint, but no matter what, this project's going to be outside, so you want to make sure that your paint is okay for outdoors, depending upon what the elements are that it might be exposed to. So as you can see here, the clear bottle is a little more vivid than a dark bottle, and then by putting it on the inside instead of the outside, it's got a nice sheen to it as well.
I wanted the colors to be vivid like summer, so I was excited to use all these beautiful primary colors in the bottles.
The bottles are all painted, and I'm going to go ahead and let them dry. Here's a quick look at what they look like so far. So you have a lot of choices for bases for this project, and one would be a little crate, or you could use a galvanized bucket. And I'm going to show you one more option that I'll be using. So one of the things I found at the dollar store was one of these cupcake holders. And these little slots are going to hold the bottles nicely. So now all I have to do is place the bottles into each slot. And one of the reasons I like this is that it showcases the bottles with the white background, and you can see the colors a little more than if they were going to be in something that was deeper. Now, if you wanted to, you could glue these to the base for more stability, but they're pretty solid as they are. I've got some shower curtain rings from my shower curtain hacks, and I'm going to use these for our ring toss. So now you set the game outside and you use the rings to toss onto the bottles, trying to get them on the bottles. It's a really easy game, and I hope you enjoy it.
I love how vivid the colors are and how easy this project is to make, and I hope you'll give it a try too. Simply place the game outside and take turns tossing the shower curtain rings onto the bottles. See how many you can make. You can find the materials list and the links to the full tutorial below.
For this project, you're going to need a variety of pool noodles. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this flag and stick it into the ground right here like so. So I bought these long skewers from the dollar store, and I'm just going to break it in half. And again, you could cut this however you really want to. I'm going to stick one end into the ground like so, and then I'm going to stick a pool noodle into it. Then I'm going to repeat this once I get it figured out about where I need it to be. gonna stick the other end into the ground then. And then I'm gonna stick the other end of the pool noodle onto it. So it creates this little curve right like this. I'm gonna repeat this process until I have 5 hoops in the yard. Here's a quick look at the finished course. Now, all I need is a beach ball. For this next project, I'm gonna take a serrated knife and I'm gonna cut this pool noodle in half. You could use a saw or scissors or other things. They're very easy to cut. Next, I'm gonna take some hot glue and add it to the end of the pool noodle. And then I'm going to stick another pool noodle like so to the other side and let this cool. I repeated this to both sides, and this is the shape that I've made. Now you can use a lot of different things for this next step. I'll be using water bottles, and you can use them in as little as 5, or you can use them in as many as 10. You could use cans, whether it is the kind of can that, like holds things like canned vegetables, or you can use soda cans as well. So you're just gonna set up 5 to 10 cans in an order and set them up in this format. Now we'll be using a kickball for this, and you can back up as far as you want, but what we've done here is set ourselves up an outdoor bowling alley. For this next step or next project, I've got a piece of cardboard here and I've placed this lid on and then traced around it with a pencil, and it looks like so. And now I just need to cut this circle out. So what I've got here is just some red spray paint, and I've laid the template down and I'm spraying the grass inside my template. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get my grass all done here, and then I'm going to carefully lift up, move it over, and I need to do this a total of 2 more times or 3 more times, so I have a total of 4 circles. Now that I have my first 4 dots, I simply move over and start with a new color. So as you can see here, I'm moving on to the color white. I happen to have some old white paint that is not working real great, and it's actually making a hot mess. So this is a great project to use it up on. So I'm gonna keep doing this and get all of these finished next. I'm gonna go ahead and keep going with this row, and then I have 1 more row that I need to do next. So a total of 4 colors and 4 rows. And what we've created here is a wonderful game of Twister. Right hand white. Oh, it is, isn't it? Left foot green.
What?
Left foot green.
Want to be notified of future videos? Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell.
Okay, so super simple to make. First, you'll get some tomato cages. I got these at Walmart for $2 a piece. And you can decide how many you want for your yard. I grabbed 5. Then I headed over to the Dollar Tree and got these laundry baskets, and I picked them out in a variety of colors. And of course, at Dollar Tree, everything's $1. So basically, each one of these goals is gonna cost $3 per goal. And this is how super simple this is. So you're gonna take your tomato cage and you're gonna stake it into the ground, and then you're gonna take your laundry basket and simply set it in the top just like this. And then you set it up all across your yard, and you can use Frisbees to play Frisbee golf. If you have younger children, you could use balls, or beach balls would be great, because these should be big enough for some beach balls to get into, and you can have baskets that you're shooting hoops all across the yard as well. So let's go put them out in the yard.
First try. Do a dance.
Want 21 sensible home hacks to be a smarter homeowner? Sign up in the description below. Let's start with a water bucket toss. Fill 6 buckets with water. You could use more or less depending upon what you'd like. You'll need some sort of balls to toss in the buckets. I like these water balls that you can pick up at Dollar Tree or at Walmart. They're sponges that retain water. Set 3 buckets up on either end of your yard in the shape of a pyramid. Toss the balls back and forth like a game of horseshoe. If someone lands their ball in the bucket, remove that bucket. The first person to lose all of their buckets wins. On a hot summer day, turn it into a water game. The person that loses a bucket gets it dumped on them. Next up, flamingo ring toss. You'll need 2 flamingos, I got mine at Dollar Tree, and some dive rings. Put your flamingos together according to the package instructions. Stake your flamingos into the ground. You'll be using the rings to toss onto the flamingo's neck. These bubble wands are great and can be bought at Dollar Tree or Walmart. Little kids always love bubbles, but even older kids can get in on the fun too. They can be lightsabers, or in our case, in the summer, we always celebrate Harry Potter, and these bubble wands become our magic wands.
I hope this inspires you to create some backyard games for yourself. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and my blog at chascrazycreations.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.